Test, test, test. Am I good to go? Give me a thumbs up if I am. Test. How about now? Am I good? Am I good now? Test, test, test. Am I good? Am I still muted? Test, I can hear myself. Okay, are we good? All right. All right, we're good? Man, that was a hell of a start, too. Oh, man. Oh, you should have seen the start that I had. It was killing it. All right, let's do it. Restart. All right. 3, 2, 1. Fam, what's going on? It's Kyle Anderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide? Up inside the comment box. I appreciate you guys being here. Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Today is Tuesday. Today is April 22nd. I'm coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Let me know where you are watching from inside the comment box. All right? I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Always so blessed to be here. Never stressed when you're talking college football in late April. All right? It's Trucker Hat Tuesday. I had to pull out the trucker hat for all my trucker hat fam. We got a lot of people driving across the great country. So, you know, it's only right that I rock the trucker hat. I like it. A little bit high on top, but it's okay. We start out with a great quote, and we'll let everybody get checked in. But this is from Coach Kane Womack, who's talking to WNSP Radio in Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to everybody in L.A. Coach Kalen DeBoer has done such a great job being proactive on the front end, talking about the transfer portal. We have numerous meetings with players that have reached out to families and representatives to make sure that we all are on the same page. We're not surprised by anything. I do think at this point we're in a really good place. Coach Kane Womack told WNSP Radio in Mobile. I know for all of you out there that keep wondering, and I guess I did at the same token, I was wondering, he's like, okay, which guys are going to go into the transfer portal? There'll be a couple guys. What if we get to this transfer portal? I mean, because the transfer portal ends on the April 26th. What if we get to, let me ask you this. If we get to April 27th, okay, and no one has left the transfer portal from Alabama, like no one has left, and the roster has stayed intact, what does that tell us? What does that tell us? You know, this week, and I guess last week too, I was talking about the words culture. I was talking about the words buy-in. And it would be interesting to see kind of comparatively how Alabama stacked up across kind of the blue bloods of college football. Yeah, and I'm not really counting the walk-ons at all. I know, Max, you brought that up a couple times. I'm just talking about like the main nucleus of the players that are on scholarship. But I get it. And you could say basketball players have left. I'm just talking about like scholarship players. But I do see what you're saying, though, Max. I think that, you know, okay, let's read some comments inside the comment box. I mean, Nick is saying locked in. Players are happy. Mark is saying it means that we have to get through the fall transfer portal, that our team is locked in. Marvin's like, I might buy some season tickets. I think this is it probably too. And I think the coaches have done a really good job kind of demonstrating the roles and responsibilities of these guys. Antoine is saying 0 portal guys, SEC championship game for sure. I don't know. You know, that's certainly lofty, Antoine. I love you coming in with the heat right there. It is buy-in. It is culture. But for all the things that were said kind of behind, you know, about Alabama, that they were trending downward and all this stuff, I think they're in a really good spot. Look, and let me ask you this before I give my morning shout-outs. Yes or no, are you surprised that there hasn't been any players from Alabama that hit the transfer portal? Type Y for yes, or type N for no. Maybe you knew that the culture was here. I'm typing Y on this side. I'm surprised. I'm absolutely surprised that that guys haven't hit the transfer portal at this point in time. Allergies hitting me a little bit. I've been taking, you know, I think it was last year, someone told me to take Zysol. And so I've been taking Zysol Great for allergies. All right, I'm not a pharmacist. I just talk Alabama football from 10 to 11 a.m. every day. But Zyzol is where it's at. See, but everybody's surprised, and I'm not. I mean, seriously, it is rather shocking that nobody's hit the transfer portal. Okay, all right. Morning shout outs. Let's see who we got. 11/11/11. What's up, Alyssa? Good morning to you. I appreciate you being here. Caitlin DeBoss, what's up, man? Herman, good morning to you. Alex Wilder, good to chat with you, man. You have 2 hoodies coming out to you, man. Nick Harden, what's up? I appreciate you being here. Anita, what's up? Good to see you. Alabama Renegade, good morning. Jackie White, yo, we got to go hit the links, bro. All right, you tell me when, where. I've never been up to Cayman Ridge, man. We got to check it out. Nick Harden, what's up? Good to see you again. Who else we got up in here? North Alabama Storm Chase, what's going on? And then everyone was like, your mic was muted. Joe Crooms, good morning to you. Robert Bradley, what's up, man? Alabama Renegade, we fixed that. Antoine, I was messing with this other system. I'm like a mad scientist back here. So I must have, and I do all the producing and stuff like that behind the scenes. So, I was muted. Yeah, we definitely need some tea up in the booth. She's great. She finished her master's, and wish her all the best. She crushes it. Honestly, the most talented and most business savvy person ever met in my whole life. Kaylin, what's up? Appreciate you. Marcus, good morning to you. It's me, Marvin. Robert Bradley, what's up? Skyler, Paul. Ooh, copacetic. Love that word. Hello, what's up, man? Kareem. I think I'm going to go with Kareem. Kareem Abdul. All right, man. Timothy, what's up, bro? John, see you inside the comment box. Quincy, my man, dude, we got to link up on that men's devotional. Patrick Spencer. Antoine. Tons of people up in the house. I love you guys. And I love you guys so much. So what we're going to do right now and how the show is going to work today, we're going to talk about some hot topics. Clearly, one of the ones that we're going to start out with is Ty Simpson, right? Landing a new truck. But before that, let's do a little pinwheel. All right. We got today we're going to do we're going to have the pinwheel for the shirt that we raffled yesterday. And then we're going to introduce our new raffle, which is a hoodie that I'm going to display in just a minute. Okay. And if you're wondering about how this works and to get into the raffles and what it goes to and all that stuff, let me be very transparent with you. So the pinwheel was something that we've always ran with, and the raffles are really fun. So this is what we're raffling. So this particular raffle is closed. So this is closed. But it was $5 to enter. And you can go to Bama _YouTube or Cash App, right? So once the pinwheel will announce the winner, we send that out to you. I send that out to you personally, right? So I use the money to pay for the actual product. I use the money for my business costs. And then whatever I have left over, I'm going to take care of different places within the community here in Tuscaloosa. So this Friday, I will be presenting them a small check to the Tuscaloosa Community Soup Bowl. So I will be serving there on Friday. I'll let you know how that goes. It is something that I go there to serve every once in a while, and I figure we could pour back into the community, help the business grow. So that's how the raffle works. But if you want to buy like the gear yourself, of course, there's many different places. Dick's Sporting Goods has a wide variety. I'm not sponsored by them by any means, but they have a ton of gear. Like I think I got this one from the soup store. So anyways, it's part of the show. It's fun. And it helps build kind of the camaraderie here. So next up, we got the pinwheel. This is going for the t-shirt yesterday. I have everything lined up. And then after this, I'll show you the hoodie that we're going to have. So let me get the pinwheel lined up. And give me just 2 seconds. And we'll run with the pinwheel. And then we'll continue with the show. Rocketown, I got you. Good to see you, bro. All right, so let me load up the pinwheel. I got everybody lined up. All right. You guys ready for some pinwheel action this morning? Oh, we went full screen right away. All right. Okay. This is the pinwheel. This is for the Alabama t-shirt. Okay. And I'll put my email inside the comment box. Actually, let me do it. If you have any questions or if I missed you or something like that. I'm learning as we go. I mean, I literally just started, this recently, so give me grace. All right, here we go. You guys ready for the pinwheel? All right, this is for the Alabama t-shirt. Starting off the morning show with the pinwheel. 3, 2. 3, 2. All right, Alex, dude. Alex has won 2 times in a row, okay? So he needs to go on the Price Right. He's in here twice. All right, so here we go. Pinwheel. This is for the t-shirt. All right. Chad Kennedy. Chad Kennedy. Army 32, I got you, man. All right. Chad Kennedy, congrats, bro. I appreciate it. And Army 32, 75, I got you. I'm going to roll you over as well. You have some additional credits. I'm going to roll you over to the hoodie. I'm going to show you the hoodie in next. Chad Kennedy, hit me up. nmpreps@gmail.com is my instant email. So I appreciate you. Congratulations to Chad Kennedy. You are the winner of the t-shirt. So nice work, man. That's a good t-shirt. I love that t-shirt, to be honest. And I'll show you guys the hoodie that I'm going to be rocking with later on in the show. So good stuff, Chad. Way to win the congratulations on your pinwheel winning. And this is what you got right here coming your way. So we got Alex has won twice, and then Chad Kennedy. All right, Army 3275. I got your Cash App, and I'm gonna take you to. You were in there today, and I'm gonna take you to the next one as well. All right, you guys see this? How would you grade Ty Simpson's truck? Do you like this? So there's a couple things to come up with. Okay, with a couple takeaways. Number one. He got himself a F-150. This is a Lariat, right? I don't know. I saw that it was $70,000. Like, I just looked at a base price. That's why I put it in the title. I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10, how you feeling about the truck? Look, a couple things that I had noticed, okay? A couple takeaways. And he got this from Scottsboro. Hardin. Is it Hardin or Harbin? I think it's Harbin. Ford up in Scottsboro. Couple things. Number one, I like the truck. I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm not a Ford fan either, but I do like the truck. I mean, look, some Fords they're clean. This one is clean. The great thing was though, look at this. If we go full screen, Ty Simpson, okay, is rocking the all camo and the Crocs. Yo, camo and Crocs. Yo, Alabama's back. Camo and Crocs. Yo, I'd love to see it. Jason said he thinks it's ridiculous that a truck costs $7. Dude, you're telling me, bro. Jackie White points out that Ford has been the #1 selling truck over the last 40 years. Ooh, that Denali, I bet that's clean. All right, so there was a lot to take in. Look, somebody pointed out inside the comment box too. They were like, "Look, this is a country boy." I love it. Who doesn't like a country boy? Like, dude, the guy's always out there hunting. It seems every single picture I've seen outside of him, like outside of the football stadium, he's just in camo. So good to see it. Your Alabama quarterback is rocking the camo and Crocs. Nothing wrong with it at all, man. You do you. We love ourselves some Ty Simpson. Yo, those GMC Sierras are tight. Those are, I mean, and that's the thing with trucks. Now we're getting to like a full-size truck like that. What is that? 70 to shoot. Like, what does a King Ranch cost? Anyways, love to see it. Ty Simpson rocking the all camo and the Crocs. Such a good. I love the picture. There was a picture of him too, like signing an autograph. Good morning, Kings Reacts. What's up, man? Good to see you. This is the graphic. This wasn't the truck, clearly, but I use this kind of as the imagery. All right, as we're talking more about, this is our hoodie. But before we start the next raffle, let me talk to you real quick about this article that came through about Coach Saban. All right. So let me see where that article was from so I can properly sort it. So Nick Saban is close to being a billionaire, right? And the main reason, and one of the great stories that's out there right now, is it's actually by Forbes. All right, I'll link the comment inside the comment box right now. Hey, good morning, Stephen. I appreciate you being here. There's the article if you want to read it. But in Forbes, this article is talking about Coach Saban. Now we move on to more automotive news, I guess you want to say. But long story short, Joe Agresti, right, on the right, who runs the day-to-day and who's the majority stakes owner in Mercedes, he was originally in Baton Rouge when he got a call from Coach Saban, and Coach Saban was inquiring about going into business, right, and starting some dealerships. Long story short, it's basically like a match made in heaven. Coach Saban says, this is one of the best decisions I've ever made about the partnership. It's been really good for both of us. So Agresti on the right is now a billionaire because of these investments in Mercedes and now Ferrari dealerships that they have. Right? So if you've cruised through Birmingham, you've seen one of Coach Saban's Mercedes dealerships. And then he also has a dealership in Nashville, right, out by the airport, which is a Ferrari dealership. And I think Coach Saban has one or two Ferraris. I've seen a couple Ferraris driving here in Tuscaloosa. Quick story. I was coming back from practice. Coach Saban had just finished up at the podium. This is when I used to go to the Malmore facility. And I was coming back, and I was backing out. If you've ever been to the Malmore facility kind of by the Coleman Coliseum, you'll understand exactly where this is at. It's kind of like a horseshoe by the baseball stadium. So I was backing out, and somebody didn't let me back out. And I was like, what the hell? So they kind of whipped around, and it was a Mercedes. So I went and I stood out this long red light, and I saw this car kind of zigging and zagging through kind of Coleman's parking lot and then get out way sooner than I did. When we came to the stoplight, it was Coach Saban. And Coach Saban, I think he was on the phone or something like that. He was busy. I was in my 2005 Nissan Frontier. True story. And we're cruising out. We live out towards the same direction, not in the same neighborhood, clearly. And I don't know what type of Mercedes Coach, because he had a rotation. I don't think he had the Ferrari dealership at this point in time. Yo, I'm telling you, Coach Saban, we hit the Black Warrior Bridge, and I don't know how fast Coach Saban was going, but he's got the competitive spirit. And my 2005 Frontier was shaking and bobbling and moaning, and Coach Saban was just flying along. So, and I haven't seen him. I've lived here for 9 years. I haven't seen him that much. He was always at the stadium or I was at the practice facilities, but it's not like you run into him. Not even Miss Terry. All right, more news. Did you see this? President Donald Trump is coming to Tuscaloosa to do the commencement speech. So this is going to be interesting to see. Did you see this? I just saw this last night before I crashed out. Okay, so President Trump is coming over here to Tuscaloosa. He's been here, a few times, seen some football games. And I'm curious to see how they do this because I don't think Alabama's ever had a commencement speaker, and there's 7 graduations within 2 days. I've been to a couple different events where the president has come. I went to the SEC championship game. 1 second. I have to sneeze, I think. Bless you. Remember when Quentin Williams sneezed? Achoo! Bless you. Thank you. Did you see that? Do you remember this? When he sneezed and he blessed himself? That was one of the best things I've ever seen. So Trump is coming to Tuscaloosa. He'll speak at the commencement. And the 2 events that I've been to where the president has been, the security detail is so heavy, right? Because you have they have to search all your bags. They put all your bags kind of the side, and then the Secret Service goes through your bag. It's not like you walk through like a metal detector. No. This is the president we're talking here. So all your bags were on the side, outside of the Mercedes Stadium, and then the Secret Service goes through them, and then they kind of give a thumbs up, and you can go and get your bag. So he's coming into town. It's next week. He just announced this, and I think he's going to West Point as well. I've always wanted to go up to West Point. Never made it up there. I just like to check out the university. But anyways, Coach Trump, the president will be in Tuscaloosa next week. So that should be exciting. That should provide some really good content. I wonder if he's going to talk with the football team. I'm serious. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll meet with Coach Kalen tomorrow. You know, maybe the New Wave podcast. Can you imagine if the New Wave has the president on? Ryan Williams and President Trump? Oh my goodness, the ratings would be bananas. Brian, what's up, man? Good to see you. All right, okay. This is our hoodie that we're rocking. This is our new raffle. Our new raffle starts right now. 3, 2, 1. This is what we're rocking with today. We're going with a very solid crimson Alabama hoodie with the white sleeves. This is 1,000,000% something that I would rock. All right. So this is so I got Army 3275. I got you in for 2 entries. Alex Wilder, I got you in for 2 entries. This is a $10 raffle. All right. The Venmo is Bama_YouTube or Cash App Bama_YouTube or Bama YouTube. All right. So this is this hoodie's tight. You know, my hoodie game is very strong. I had to kind of peel back because I went a little hoodie crazy. I got hats too. I like those hats at Chris Mobley. Maybe we'll raffle one of those at some point in time. So Coach Kane Womack loves the black vest. I think he's getting those vests from Tom Bigby. So this is what we're rocking. So 10 to get you in. All right. And I got Army 3275 and Alex Wilder. I got you guys locked in. All right. I think the hoodie's tight. This is a good one. All right. Todd, what's up, man? Good to see you inside the comment box. Man, I would imagine, you know, Coach Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, which I'm not completely mad about, but you don't necessarily see them in a lot of like crimson. They've been kind of going with some black military gear. Have you noticed this? It looks good. I like the black hoodies. All right, more news. Speaking of our boy, Ryan Williams, you see this? Who, and by the way, to get into that raffle, $10, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. Okay. Raise your hand inside the comment box if you've been to bomb hours. I have. Okay, so there's plenty of places, like if you were to come into Tuscaloosa and you were to be like, okay, where do I get wings at? There's a variety of wings. And we all, yeah, Jackie, Super Chat will qualify as well. Bomb Hours has really good wings. I'm talking like very good wings. And I'm not just saying this because Ryan Williams is promoting it. Like, I would tell you the truth. Like, if I didn't like the wing, just like Buc-ee's, like I didn't like the jerky, but I got the wrong jerky. I'm going back again, and I'll get the right jerky. But the wings over there are really good. And the thing that I see, Jackie, see what I'm saying, down in Foley. The thing I like about Bomb Hours wings is how meaty they are. So you can get 6 of them, and you got a lot of meat on the bone. For example, like if you go to Buffalo Phil's, which is down here in Tuscaloosa as well, it's a little bit light. You know what I'm saying? Like the the wings are really good, and I get the hot wings at Buffalo Phil's, but they're really small. Really small and tasty, but like Baumeyer's wings they're really good. So Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe, and now Drake Kirkpatrick, who they brought on board, all younger cats, right? Sophomore years, having the best time of their life. As part of their NIL deal with their podcast, they are now, in affiliation with Baumeyer's. They came up with, which I think is tight, New Wave Wings. If I have some time within the next couple of days, I'll go over there and try out the New Wave Wings. I can't see. Oh, so a small is $11.99 and a large is $15.99 for 10 wings. And I can't really read the text what it says. But I'll try them out. But if you're in town, go check out the New Wave Wings. And see, a lot of this stuff is these type of items were supposed to be like NIL, right? Like getting paid to play is something that we're now a part of, but also stacking on these NIL opportunities. Yeah, I didn't realize when I went to Buc-ee's the other day how many of y'all live in kind of that Leeds area. So next time I roll through, what I'll do is I'll let you guys know, and I'll give you guys a heads up. And I don't know, maybe we have a meetup at Buc-ee's or whatever. We talk some Alabama football and eat some brisket. Just, tailgate it. Seriously. I'm going to tailgate it and, I won't be drinking, but if you want to just hang out and kick it, I'll let you know. Maybe we could just, get to just shake some hands, take some pictures or whatever. Because I'm serious. There must have been at least 20, maybe more of you that were like in that vicinity. So check out the New Wave, podcast, and of course, Baumeyer's. Here's the raffle that we have right here. $10 to get into this raffle. And Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash App, Bama YouTube. Melon Jesus, man, usually I make it up to Huntsville at least like once during the summertime, kind of depending on the golf schedule that I have. They already played Muscle Shoals and Fighting Joe I think earlier when my summer schedule will free up a little bit, but I love me some Huntsville, man. Huntsville is such a great city. I think, Birmingham is amazing because of all the food options, but Huntsville, that city's on fire. That's a great city. 100%. I really enjoyed my time there. All right, this is the hoodie for the raffle. And if we don't hit our quota today, we'll just roll it over to the next show. So this is the hoodie that we're working with today. All right, this graphic from our friends at Touchdown Alabama. This is regarding a recent quote by Coach Kalen DeBoer. I think he said this when he was down in Mobile recently in a speaking engagement. He said, in regards to Florida State, in this game, look, I've gone to the Florida State board. We've talked about Florida State a couple times. In fact, the line originally was like at 6.5. I think it's now at like 11.5, 12 points. So starting to really kind of go towards Alabama in that aspect. Coach Kalen DeBoer says this. I know that they have a lot of change, defense, offensively. Remember, trivia. Trivia. Who is Florida State's new offensive coordinator? Who is Florida State's new offensive coordinator? Hey, Nicole, what's up? Good morning to you. Byron, what's up, man? Thanks for the heads up, bro. Byron on Facebook with the Ty Simpson post, bro. That was a nice assist. Thank you so much. I know that they got a lot of change. Defense, offensive coordinators. That's going to be a big one. We've got to be on the road. We've got to be better on the road. Thank you, Coach. He understands that than we were a year ago. And that's his early thoughts on this Florida State matchup. When I look at Alabama's schedule, that's the one thing that I think about is like, how are these guys going to improve when they're playing on the road? And we're never going. We can just kind of wonder about it until it actually happens. But one of the things that I think will help these guys is the experience that they have, right? A lot of these guys coming back specifically on the defensive side, and now we're going to talk about the Alabama secondary, just the corners today. We'll talk about the safeties tomorrow, and then we'll talk about the special teams on our Thursday show. But look, I'll tell you why. It kind of leads into my next point is the corners. And before I talk about the corners, kind of going on what Coach Kalen DeBoer was saying is, look, they've done a really great job keeping a lot of these defensive names here. The stars indicate the players, as I've pointed out many different times, that were significant, I guess, players last year as starters. I mean, even James Smith up here had close to 300 snaps. So when we go into detail a little bit more about the corners, let me ask you, as I always do, and look, some of these guys might be moved around to the Husky or could even play safety. But from what we learned about this group during springtime, okay, because I know all the great recruiting sites have what we learned from spring. Let me ask you this. What did we learn about the corners from spring football? Before I ask you to assess the overall talent, what did we learn? What stood out to you about the corners? Remember, Chuck McDonald is not on campus yet. So what did we learn? There's one thing that we learned for sure for me, or one thing that I learned. And it has to do with this young man right here. Where is he? This guy. We learned that Dejon Lee is a bad man. This guy played at a very high level. I think coming out of spring camp, I'd probably list him as the number one freshman. Yeah. And I'm going to put that together soon. I'll have my player rankings from Alabama, but I think I'm going to list him as my number one player out of the class of 2025 as a freshman coming out of spring. And these rankings can change, whatever, but I think he's number one, and Keelan and Lazier probably, 2, 3. Yo, but Mustard, man, this guy really put it on him. And I don't think he'll necessarily be a starter, but I think he showed us that he's going to be capable to play at a very high level early on, meaning immediately. Keep in mind, Damani Jackson was out. Cam Calhoun's working at this Husky position. I still think you have a battle between Cam and Deshaun Jones for that Husky position. I don't know. It kind of seemed like it went more towards Deshaun. And then also Red Morgan. I'm not going to lie. Red Morgan looked impressive at the spring practice. And I don't know about Dejon Lee and Patrick Surtain comparisons. That's an interesting one. I have to think about it because Surtain was lanky as well, but Dejon Lee I think has a little bit of length in him. But man, Patrick Surtain was just it still is. He was a defensive player of the year in the NFL, right? This is a really good point. What Steven has to say inside the comment box. Coach turned a weakness to a strength, 100%. Because the guys played better last year. But now this is a real strength of Alabama's team is the corner room. So let me ask you now, on a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of, your overall talent within the room, how would you grade the corners coming out of spring? $10, like absolutely elite. I mean, keep in mind, you have your 2 starting corners coming back. Then you add on Mustard. You add on, Cam Calhoun to the room. Deshaun Jones returns. Red Morgan looks improved. Damn, Jarvis is going for a 10. Jarvis is a really realistic grader, too. This is a great group. Steven say 20. Yeah, the Anita's saying 7.5. I think that'd probably be our lowest. Steven say 97 out of 100. It's a very talented, and Chuck isn't even here yet. And I guess Damani is probably the fastest player on the team, or one of them. Xavier Brown, let's talk about Xavier Brown real quick, because Xavier Brown, I think, got a little bit overshadowed this springtime just because of the excitement of Dejoun Lee. And who knows, maybe there's some sort of a competition. I think Xavier's clearly going to be the starter. But let's not lose sight on someone as talented as Xavier Brown. Xavier Brown came up really big last year in multiple games. Now, did he get cooked? Yes. He got beat a couple times. But Xavier Brown, don't lose sight of him. Don't lose sight of how talented that young man is. I didn't even think that he was going to be a starter last year, and he just balled out. He played big, so don't lose sight on Xavier Brown. And when you kind of step out and look to Alabama's defense overall, I feel the Alabama too deep from the wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks. Those are all solid. I don't really know about the Alabama too deep on the offensive line yet because a lot of those guys just haven't played. But on Alabama's secondary, I feel really confident about the Alabama too deep at pretty much every position. The only area that I really have kind of a questions is, as we've talked about on the shows, is the DTs and the nose guards, and then specifically like maybe the safety position. But I mean, and that's just kind of nitpicking. But Bray will be, he's a baller. Keon Sabb, when he's healthy, he'll be there, right? So I don't know. What other question marks do you have about the defense? There's not a lot. There's really not. Faith FA, good question. So whenever you come in here, don't feel that don't be scared to ask a question. There's no such thing as a bad question. We know that a lot of us are dialed in because we do this every single day, but some people might not, they just want a quick update. So Faith FA asks, by the way, nice avatar in there. Mbakwe only playing offense now? Yeah, it looks like it. So Jalen Mbakwe was playing defense when he first got here. And then he went to the offensive side, and he's a little bit buried on the depth chart at the receiver position. Even if he was on the defensive side, he'd probably be a little bit buried. That doesn't mean that he's not an elite athlete. That doesn't mean that he's not going to contribute in some shape or form here. That just means that's how good the talent is right now. So regarding Jalen Mbakwe, it's a big question, but yeah, for right now, it still looks like the offensive side. So Byron points out that GM Courtney Morgan is up in St. Louis today recruiting. And one of the best in the business, and a hell of an addition to Coach Kalen DeBoer's organizational staff, right? This is the hoodie that we got raffling today. Bama_YouTube and Cash at Bama YouTube. And we got Alex and Army 3275 checked in. I got you guys. And then if we don't hit our quota for today, we'll roll it into the next show. And I'll also post this in the community tab so you guys can get in there. And it's Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash at Bama YouTube. Sean asks, Kyle, do you think Mbakwe would be playing defense if there were enough injuries during the season? Maybe. I think where you immediately put Jalen Mbakwe is at the special teams. Like, he's your kick returner. He's your punt returner. And I think you kind of fill him in. Who knows? I don't know if Coach Kalen DeBoer is opposed to playing somebody two ways. It's just he's a little bit buried on the depth chart right now. Brandon Woods chimes in and he says, if I'm Kalen DeBoer, Mbakwe is returning on special teams, co-sign on that to keep him happy. He's a playmaker and wants to make them, so let him keep him happy. 100%. I like that. I just said that. Jamie says, morning, Kyle. Roll Tide, everyone. Give Kyle a like. He's worth it. No better Crimson Tide coverage than anyone. Oh, thanks, bro. I didn't even know you're going to post that, but thank you, bro. Yeah. I appreciate the support, man. I really do. But this whole, there's been things that I think sometimes we've self-created. For example, we thought Keon Keeley was going to go into the transfer portal. We just made that up. We just made up Ryan Grubb's wife didn't want to live here, right? We made up that, Jalen Mbakwe, he got paid. All of that stuff. There's sometimes the rumor mill gets high, RTR Gaming is asking about Coach Saban. Well, in the beginning of our show, we talked about there's an article in Forbes. I linked it inside the comment box. Joe Agressi, who runs the day-to-day and is the majority stakes owner of Mercedes, he's basically been, full on with Coach Saban's Mercedes, business venture. And he's the majority owner, and Saban's, the minority holder, and he's just making cash from the Mercedes, from the Ferrari, and just the investments that they made. I mean, they're absolutely killing it. I think they sold 20,000. It said the article in Forbes said, I'll link the article again so you guys can read it. It's a really good article. See if I can find it. Nick Saban, Forbes. It said that they sold 20,000 vehicles last year. I'm not kidding you. So that's how. Smart move by Saban. That doesn't surprise me, though. I mean, how much? And Saban's earning what? Another $20 million or whatever from ESPN. By the way, I wonder, have we found out, because we have the NFL draft coming up on Thursday. Has anybody said that, is Coach Saban going to be at the NFL draft again? He has to be. Coach Saban was the best analyst, hands down. It wasn't even close last year. He's got to be. I feel kind of dumb even asking. He was the best thing about the NFL draft. And before we close out, this is the Bama hoodie. We're raffling $10 to enter Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. Yeah, so check that out. That's I read the article this morning. Really, really good stuff. I also have a new men's devotional channel, if you want to check that out. I've been very open about, I wanted to tighten up in kind of the spiritual part of my life. So it's a daily journey. I post videos, once a day, just kind of high level. I go off this book, Daily Wisdom for Men. So just trying to, get a little better one day at a time. But I appreciate you guys rocking with us today during our Tuesday show. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Daily shows at 10 a.m. to 11. We got the raffle going on. If you want to get inside the raffle, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. And I'll put the timestamps inside the show as well. So you can, if you're on the rewatch, you can go back and rewatch. For example, like this was the opening quote of the show, Kane Womack talking to WNSP in Mobile. Coach Caitlin DeBoer has done such a great job being proactive in the front end. We've had numerous meetings with the players and reached out to their families and representatives to make sure we are all on the same page. As I was kind of cruising through and kind of building up the show, that tells you a lot. Like, these guys had a committed plan to keep these guys in place. Like, losing guys was not part of their process at all. And it's clearly shown. I'm going to be completely shocked. We might have to have a party on, I guess, April 27th. I'd just be completely shocked if no, scholarship guys at the portal. I didn't see that coming. I'm not mad about it. Alabama Renegade. Reese Davis will host ABC's coverage. He'll be joined by Kirk Herbstreit, Desmond Howard, Nick Saban, Phil Yates. Okay. Laura Rutledge and Pete Thamel. What a staff. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, Max. I appreciate it, bro. We got out to a little bumpy start. All right. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. Stay blessed. Stay where your feet are at. And I will catch you during my next show or as major news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. The men's devotional, I post a video just once a day. Once a day. Sometimes it kind of just depends on my schedule. It's tough. You wouldn't think every single day. I mean, every single day I'm on here, right? So that's I want to just take kind of that journey. So check it out. I tell a story about going to church Sunday by myself and kind of my experience about doing that. I think it takes courage to go to church by yourself. Anyways. Stay blessed. I appreciate you guys being here. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on April 22nd. Kyle Anderson of Bama Football on YouTube.